That's Datsun 280ZX S130 2+0. We're in the process of a full frame off restoration on the car. We've been working on it for over a year. The car has just been finished being painted. It's completely stripped. Let's go take a look. Like I said, this is a 1979 S130 280ZX. Now, a lot of Z owners kind of write off the ZX car because it had these massive front and rear bumpers. But as you can see here, we've had our bumpers fully modified to sit way more flush to the chassis, making it look a little bit more like an S30. Now, we also took an S30 style duckbill spoiler that's pretty common on aftermarket builds and made sure that that fit this car. Now, the rear profile with the bumper and the deck spoiler looks absolutely incredible. You honestly can't really tell that something's been done unless you were paying attention. Now, we're also going to be running the exposed Datsun gas cap, so we made sure that that got painted and repaired, as well as the hatch lid getting repaired. Now, Datsun owners will know that these are notorious for getting rust on the hatch lid, but as you can see here, all of that rust has been fully repaired, sealed up, and painted. It looks like nothing had ever been changed. Moving on to the interior, the rear strut towers had to be modified to accept these coilovers that we have, as well as to fit the Cusco adjustable strut bar that you can see here. We did have to import this item, but luckily we got it just in time so that way it could be put on. Now, we made sure that the interior got the same treatment as the exterior in terms of the paint, because we will be leaving a lot of the interior exposed so that way you can admire it. Now, you're looking here at the cowl. This is another really common spot that gets a lot of rust. Again, fully repaired, sealed up, and painted. The interior we're super happy with. It looks just as good as the exterior. These guys at Solo Garage did such a good job. You can barely tell that this car has had that much work done. Besides the beautiful paint job, the engine bay is also going to be a huge focal point with this car. We made sure that the bay was shaved for the L28E motor that we are going to be putting back into the car. We made sure that we equipped the car with the correct subframes to match, as well as get the trans tunnel treated with bed liner, as well as the rest of the underside. Attached to the Apex Engineering arms are a set of Techno Toy tuning coilovers with custom spring rates. It's the same thing in the back, full Apex Engineering subframes and arms with fully adjustable Techno Toy tuning coilovers. We did have to have the strut towers modified, like I said, to accept the coilovers, but other than that, that's really the only work that had to be done. Now, obviously, the motor is not in the car. This is not the final ride height. It is fairly obvious that this is just a roller as of right now, but wheels on the car will be the final wheels, but they are not refinished yet. These are a set of SSR Mk 3-piece wheels. The fronts are 15x8 and the rears are 15x9. Another point of these cars not being as desirable for S30 owners is the front bumper. From the factory, it sticks out a ton. However, we wanted it to match the rear bumper with a nice tuck and shave. We wanted to follow the natural hood line to make this bumper look factory, which to us, this looks like how it should have came in the first place. All of the chrome on the front and rear bumper has been fully refreshed, making it look absolutely brand new. We're unbelievably happy with the way that all of this modification work came out. A couple other miscellaneous items. There are no mirrors on the car right now, and we're still a little undecided on what type we want to run. We're thinking about the bullet style S30 mirrors on the door, but open to suggestions. We are not finalized on that. But I think the biggest thing you're wondering is, what color did we paint the car? Now this is a Porsche 2FB forest green metallic. It's a 911 color. We took a little bit of a risk with this color, but everybody that worked on this car has since said this is one of the nicest colors that they have seen. I would fully agree. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. The clear coat is immaculate. We're both extremely excited for how this car turned out and are desperate to get more work done to it. But let's go take a look at all of the parts that were taken off of the car before all of the repairs and paint. As you can see, there's a lot of things that came off the car. I'm not going to go through everything individually, but there is enough here that we can use for reference when we need to purchase new parts or recondition a few parts from this whole stash. Obviously, we're not wanting to put old parts back onto this car, but if there are some things that we can't get anymore, like these chrome door handles, we're just going to have to recondition them, paint them, re-chrome them, whatever we need, so that way the build can get wrapped up. We are going to be keeping the factory brown dashboard, as you can see, buried in there with all the chrome trim, but all of these other parts that came off of the car are just going to get trashed. I mean, we really don't have a use for them. If you have a S130 that you need parts for, just let me know in the comments or hit me up on Instagram and we can work something out. Now, before we run over to my dad's, there was an LM2 front nose cone sitting in here. I thought you guys would find that really cool, but let's run over to my dad's. We'll start off with what we have in these boxes and in the surrounding areas. So first thing I want to mention, there is an EFI hardware from Melbourne, Australia, ITB fuel injected set. I'm keeping it wrapped because when we got it from freight, it was nice and wrapped, and we would hate to have anything scratch it or mess it up before it gets mated to the engine. But you can see the velocity stacks right here. This is an all-in-one unit specifically designed for the type of fuel injectors that we decided on. Moving down to this bin, we have a full exhaust for the car, just basically straight back, no cats, one muffler. I mean, all the gaskets are here. This thing is going to sound awesome. Now, these boxes that are directly under the intake have a bunch of the trim pieces from the interior. We haven't really decided if we're going to reuse a lot of these. Some of these need to be reconditioned or replaced. We just put them all in these boxes to kind of keep them all separated and keep track of what we have taken out of the car. But otherwise, there are some newer components like fender emblems, grommets for the engine bay, for the underside of the car, etc. Now, on this side of the garage, we have a lot of the interior and trim pieces that we will be reusing and or painting for the Datsun. Like, there's brand new carpet over here. Our clutch kit with the Fidanza flywheel and Exetti OEM style set is here. A nice beefy starter is over here. There's some harnesses, trim pieces like center console for where the shift boot lives, some skillered blank door cards. You know, there's a lot of nice things over here that we will be using. Hiding away in the top of the garage are two Brom Elite seats. You can't really see it because the factory trunk carpet liner is just sitting on top of it. We've decided that we're not going to be using the trunk liner, but those seats are up there. They are black. They don't produce them in the color that we want the interior to be, which is going to match the factory brown dashboard like I mentioned earlier. So we'll probably need to get those recovered locally. Besides the SSR Mark IIIs, we do have a couple other wheels that we might run sometime in the future. These are going to be our roller wheels for when we get the car trailered over to Wireworks Performance. These are some Datsun 280ZX turbo wheels. Got a set of 5 of those, which is nice, so one spare. But these will probably just end up being our roller wheels. And then you might notice over here, there are some SSR Mark IIs. Now these are Mark IIRs. These actually came in a set with some SSR Watanabes, which are underneath. Let me show you those. Okay, like I said, these are SSR Watanabes. These are two-piece. These we didn't really know existed. They're technically called SSR RS8, but they're labeled as RS8 Watanabe. These things are super cool. The specs on these wheels aren't super great, so we would need to have these rebuilt at some point. We'll probably take those over to K-Style Garage with the other wheels that we have on the car now, but just wanted to show you that we had these. Now that we've gone over the car as it sits, all of the old parts and all of the new parts, that's going to conclude everything for this video. The only items that I didn't touch on are the electrics. So all of that is with Wireworks. We have a Haltech ECU and a new harness that utilizes LS coils. So there's a whole lot of work that they're going to have to do for the car to hopefully be running by November. Now, when the car is driving, we will for sure be putting it in car shows locally and hopefully in some other out-of-state shows like Z-Con. But right now, we just want to get the car to run. So I don't know when I'm going to be picking up the camera next to make another video on this car. So please subscribe so that way you can be notified later when we have more videos on the Datsun, or just to see other content on my main project, my Volvo 740. But other than that, thank you for watching. See you next time.